Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, and even old people that are watching this video, welcome to the beautiful city of Cheongju. The city of Cheongju is populated by over 50 million racist Koreans. Now sure, you might be thinking to yourself, why would I want to live in a place like that? To be honest, you probably wouldn't. That's why this video exists, to educate you and show you everything you need to know about Cheongju. I mean, just take a look at that. Look at those buildings, and there's some trees, and mostly just buildings. There's people living in there. I think there are, anyway. Some of the buildings look like people shouldn't be living in them, but they are. Here we are in the forest. Who doesn't like a good forest? Multiple people have been killed in this forest, stabbed to death, or shot in the head. This is known as the Forest of Broken Dreams. People also like to throw themselves off the peak of this mountain. Here we have a group of survivors that just avoided a massacre, taking over 26 lives. As you can see here, some beautiful tree branches. Tree branches grow all throughout Cheongju. They're actually one of the staples of the diets of the native Koreans here. They chew on the bark on the outside to get very important nutrients that they need in order to yell at people in the streets, throw garbage, and scream at dogs. You can see some people actually live in these areas. This is a tomb that's been dedicated to many of the war survivors. Now, I'm not talking about the Korean War, I'm talking about the war on high prices. It has ravaged through Korea for the last 15 years. This man, well, he's dead now. That was the last time he was ever seen on film. This is a highway. They've got 3 of them in Korea. Most of those cars are motorized. Some of them are actually remote controlled, though, and used to infiltrate other countries. Mostly North Korea, since it's the only country they're actually physically attached to, and nobody really wants to go there. If you look to our left, you'll see more survivors. This is a mountain. There's lots of those here in Korea. Specifically in Cheongju, they've got, I think, just that one. But that's okay. You won't be staying here for very long anyway, because you'll probably get bored and decide that you want to live somewhere else. At least, that's what most people here do. As you can see there, the Great Wall of China. Also found here in Cheongju, many sights to see. A flag that's not flying properly, and some Koreans. They're common here in Cheongju, mostly because it's in Korea, I think. I'm not entirely sure. Now you at home may be asking yourself, is it a thick haze of smog hanging over Cheongju City? Of course not. It's a thick haze of possibilities and opportunities. Why, just look around you. This young homeless man over here is hanging on to his last remaining scrap of food, this dog that he's kept alive for over 2 years. And who knows, today may be the day he finally gets to eat it. But I think we've talked enough about mountains. Let's shift now to the culture of Cheongju. This area here is known for runaways from North Korea. They flee the border and seek refuge over here. Of course, the government doesn't like them, so they shoot them. Well, there's one right now. Don't worry, little Billy. He'll be gunned down in no time. I'll bet everybody watching at home can guess exactly what that is. That's right. It's the birthplace of international superstar Jackie Chan, known for his kung fu martial arts movies the world over. In commemoration of Jackie Chan's 88th birthday, we have been allowed inside to videotape everything that we want to. In fact, the wet nurse that raised Mr. Chan still takes care of this place to today. And as you can see, she keeps it in pristine tip-top shape. So this is where Jackie Chan was born and raised. On the playground is where he spent most of his days, chilling out, maxing, relaxing, all cool, and all shooting some b-ball outside of the school, when a couple of guys who were up to no good started making trouble in his neighborhood. He got in one little fight and his mom got scared and she sent him off to China, where he was forced to study martial arts at gunpoint for 15 years. It's actually quite sad. Many of his friends were killed at this boarding school he was sent to. Very tragic story. It actually shaped him into the man he is today. You can read about it in his autobiography, Chan, the Man Behind the Mask. This village right here is actually a small farming village just outside of Cheongju. It's called Kimji Hyundai Juseo, and it's known for its population of only 2. Despite its size, it actually has a terrible infrastructure. Nothing ever gets done there, hardly any food gets grown, and the death toll is surprisingly high considering its population. This whole area is really just steeped in death. I highly recommend staying away from it. These here are some of the old ruins left over from the Aztec era. The Aztecs lived in this area long before the Koreans did, building temples and sacrificing people. Again, the whole theme of death just courses through this area. If we continue on down this path, we can actually see a gigantic turtle. What's the significance of this turtle? What cultural relevance does it have for Korea? To be honest, I have no idea, so we're going to just move on and pretend we didn't see it. Instead, let's take a look at a map. Here we have our final destination on our tour of Cheongju, the famous Cheongju Wishing Well. Here you can throw in your children and make a wish. And if you're lucky, your child will come back out with several thousand plastic surgeries to their face and body, making them as beautiful as any other Korean. If not, then they're simply sacrificed to the pagan demon that lives beneath this well. But wait, what's this? It appears as if we've made a friend. Wait, if it isn't our old homeless friend that we met up on the tower. Who'd have thought? You're probably wondering, why would I want to make friends with a homeless man? Well, he's agreed to share his delicious young pup with me as long as I give him a ride home and don't slice out his liver. Well, I'm usually a man of my word. I can see this being a long and fruitful friendship.